Kika tips. Aloha, everybody. Thank you, Angelo, for having me. This is Michelangelo, my son's program. And yes, indeed, this is Kika tips. Okay, I'd like to thank Mark Kokoban, who did the sign for us. When Mark Kokoban did the sign for us, he was in OCC. Yeah, he was in prison. He did that for us. Thank you, Mark. So I went to the prison to pick him up, to pick up the sign from him, and I appreciate what he did for us. Okay, just to let you know. So today's lesson basically is for the intermediate and the beginner. What we're doing is country, key of G, and we're using the G major pentatonic. You remember I gave you the circle of fifths, and we were in the key of G. We did the Hawaiian Contemporary. Well, this time we're doing the 1, 4, and 5, but we're doing majors: G major, C major, and D major. Quite simple. Instead of G major 7, no, country is very simple. But what country does have is like Saki. It has a double bass. Boom, boom. So I got a G and a D for the G. 1, 5. And then it has a lead in C, C, G, and then D. Back to G. So this 1, 5, G, D, and then I got this line A, B, C, G, C, G. And when you go to the D, it's D, A, D, A, back to G. Like Bonnie Raitt and those other guys, they use their fingers too. They don't just use a pick. And I really appreciate that, the skill set. Okay, so now basically we're in the, what key are we in? Right, Socratic, right? I'm teaching by questions. Here's G. Okay, the 4 chord C is right here. 5 chord D. Yeah, one of my teachers is Jerry Bird. He taught me about these bending, about these country licks, just a country style picking. So now, basically, it's just we can do 1, 4, 5 in the key of G major, but instead of G, playing the G minor pentatonic like this. Okay, we do the same pattern, but we do it opposite like this. See what I mean? So just to give you an example, the A minor pentatonic is here, right? Okay, for the A major pentatonic is simply the same pattern, but you put your baby finger on the root like this. That's A. That's A major pentatonic. So that's called a rag. The feeling is, because we weren't brought up with that kind of music, yeah. In the meaning, wherever they're from, they were brought up with this. It's part of their hearing, It's that rock. It's that country thing. Since we're doing country today. Okay, so I got G. Stop on a G. And you got a vibrato on the top, yeah? And when you go to the C, and then to the D. To G. Now a lot of times country music you go from G to C, A7, and then to the D, back to G. So that A7 is just like Hawaiian music, yeah? It's a second degree. So the second degree in the template of music all the majors can become minors, and that's how we have G major and G minor keys. All the minors can become majors, and can also become dominant sevenths. In the case of, we're in the key of G, but the second degree is A7 for country. Yeah? So for A7, then to the D, back to G. Typical country style. Now when you go to the A7, your line, this is called a rag. And then you go to the A chord here. For the G rag, okay, so in essence, for the G major pentatonic, you want to cover the whole neck, so you can have that possibility. So if you can have it all, why not have it all? So basically, if this is the case, if this is G minor pentatonic, okay, and I'm going to play this back here. It's like I have a first finger over here. What that turns out to be, and anybody tell me what that is? That's correct. It is an E minor pentatonic. It's an E minor pentatonic. K E. So you'd basically what we're doing is we're superimposing the E minor pentatonic against the G major. And this is it. First position. Of course, you want to stop on the G instead of the E. If you're in the E, you would stop on the E. Yeah, but we're not in E. We're in G. So it's okay. First position. Sequence it. The sequence process is called a chop builder. So you build your chops. In the music vernacular, chops is basically technique. Is virtuosity. And don't be afraid of the word virtuosity. In the dictionary, all that means is a brilliant performer. But you want fluidity in your right and left hand. You want to play clean. All the top country players, they play clean. One of them, my favorite, is Tommy Emmanuel. Yeah, he learned from Chet Atkins, the top guys. Yeah. Okay, first position, E minor pentatonic, G major pentatonic. We're going to call it G major pentatonic. Second position. Third position. Okay, here's another one. And then we're back to where we started from. Remember this one? No, we're here. And then these are basically, then we start all over again. So that's the G major pentatonic encompassing the entire neck. Now what I'm doing over here is traditional only these two things. This basically is blues. Okay, that's for the one chord. When I go to the C, I'm going Hawaiian. Major and minor six. Using major sixes. And then for the D, basically, Yeah, I had the privilege of working with one of the partners of C&K. Capono did our guitar festival, the first annual guitar festival. George Crewell was the slack key, but what happened is he came to Chinatown one time. We had a meeting one time because I used to have classes in Chinatown, and he told me like when you're playing a D major chord, you can lift up your finger and put it back down. So in other words, in this case, I'm holding the D major chord and I hit an open D, open A, hammer on the C. Lifetime music, right? Okay. Also, we're on the topic of country. I also have this, it's called a sliding pentatonic. Sliding. So basically the way that they do it in the mainland, because I did work with this bluegrass player. He came in from the mainland. Called me up one day. Said he wanted to come in and trade ideas. So I got some ideas from here for the G chord. They would resolve to the G this way. And I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. So this is what he gave me. And that makes sense. Okay, I see. Very interesting. So a lot of the Hawaiian music is in country. So for you to incorporate that, that's where the sliding G major pentatonic, sliding G major pentatonic. Okay, basically our topic matter is, once again, what is it? Country. Yeah, basically. And we're dealing with the 1, 4, and 5. And in this case, it's a G major, C major, and D major. Basically keeping it simple. Whereas in the jazz mode, it will be G major 7, C major 7, and D 9. In funk, it would be just G 9. In heavy metal and rock, basically what we're dealing with Angelo, we have a perfect fifth and a diminished fifth. As you can see, when you go to the diminished fifth, it creates, what does it create? Before it resolves, it creates tension, and that's what it is. Angelo is a virtuoso on that, and he plays all the different styles. So I learned that from my son, Michelangelo. And yes, I do all different styles. Here in Hawaii, it's important to play all different styles of music. Okay. Basically, I wanted to share this with you. When you're doing the blues, for the G7, here's the flat 7 and the third. It's called a tritone, yeah. So for the G7 chord is here. Now for the C7, which is the 4, all you got to do is move it down. That's C7. That comes from this. See the tritone? What is a tritone? It's a third in the flat 7. Of what? Of the dominant 7 chord. Gary Shimabukuro. Mahalo nui. I got that from Gary. Gary basically went to Berkeley, yeah? And he was working for Don Ho. I appreciate Brother Gary. I used to go to his house in Kalihi. So here's a G. I have a ghost note here. Then to the C chord, back to the G. Here's the so the E7 is right here, right? So it goes G. Then to the C. Back to George. D7. C7. So the G. C7. Back to G7. D7, one above. C7. There's a turnaround. Back to 1. Okay, yes, indeed, we're doing country. So now, we're moving on. Basically, when you're doing the blues like this, in the G7 chord, what the jazz players, they would like to switch over now from country to jazz. What the jazz player does is it takes the G7 chord here, and they eliminate, the word is to eliminate some chords. All you need is the 1, the flat 7, and the 3rd. This is G7. Instead of this thing. You know, this is all you need. And then you do, what key are we in? G, right? Done. So right here I have it's a ghost note going up to the C. It's a half-step resolution. Yeah, I got that from Doug McDonald. Half-step resolution. Take a ride. Remember I told you about the 1 chord to the 2 chord, the diminished. 4 chord, same thing. And then you can come up to the G, or you can come down to the G over. And then the bass line, got this from Ray Brown. So that's another thing I encourage you guitar players to do, is to learn the bass, because it'll improve your time. And Tomo used to tell me about the bass line, which I understand now why he was teaching me that. The bass line is very important. So with that said, I'd like to thank Angelo very much. This concludes my lesson. So Angelo, thank you very much. See you next time. Oh, ho'olohe. Listen, ho'oko. Practice. Holomua. Succeed. Ho'okani ike kika. Play in tune, play in time, play the melody when you improvise. Don't just play the melody, improvisation. So play in tune, play in time, play the melody, and play the right changes. And finally, ho'okani ike pa'ani. Pa'ani kika means to improvise. God bless you. Aloha.